What is going on, buddy?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to Danganronpa. Another. When we left off, we finished our investigation of the Chapter 3 murders.
We sure did.
As we lost two friends at once.
Yeah.
The ultimate lawyer is gone before the thing that I mentioned of being able to use him as a heckin' weapon inside a trial would have been interesting, but it's gone before we could even get it. And then Inori.
It was very premeditated.
Yeah, I want to know
the
what...
The idea that one of these people did this is crazy.
You know, this is a great time to throw your sus list out there on who you think may have perpetrated the situation. It's a tough one. It's a doozy.
I don't think it's Satsuki.
Okay.
I don't think it's Makaru. I don't think it's Uehara.
Okay.
I don't think it's Kurokawa.
Okay. Your list is growing very small with
don't think it's
and very
Kinjo.
bad. Oh, of course, I should have seen that coming.
I don't think it's Akane.
Okay. So you've left literally these two
I think
here.
it's one of them.
That may be a fair point. The thing that where if I have a sus list right now, one of the people on that list is Haru because he was part of the second floor squad. It's really one of the only things I have going on that for me because I guess
I'm just going purely based off of personality, but also how we found people too.
Yeah.
A combination of that.
Like the thing that messes things up is fucking Yamaguchi's time of death being after like even Inori's. I think it happened as we were discovering the bodies, so it couldn't have been anyone that was actively on the second floor at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I really am sus of Mikaru in this one, of whatever the hell she's hiding on this. And the whole right hand thing, I don't think it's Kinjo. Once again, the whole right side here, I fucking hate you. But I don't think anyone here is on my shit list.
Yeah, I don't think the ultimate priest would do a double killing.
Uehara is a strange, weird middle ground of not sure what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
You couldn't hurt a fly. I'll never suspect you. Fuck it, you're on my shit list. I don't know if you're smart enough to actually do that, but maybe you've been hiding it all along.
God, what
I
if...
don't think it's Akane.
No.
Kurokawa had...
What if Satsuki is the imposter?
Oh my god. I fucking... You know what? I hope for it. I hope that you're the traitor. Because that'd be incredible. Kurokawa plays a weird part in this that we have not really been able to... address.
It's like
she has seen some shit.
She has.
Before shit even happened.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that is going to be important in some way. Either that or they're simply putting forward crumbs of the overall story as we move forward.
So you think this is going to be another situation of somebody murdering somebody, but then that person gets murdered? I
don't think so, because unless there was translation things can be funky, I suppose, but Monokuma stated that there was one perpetrator for both the murders.
Oh, really?
But, verbiage through translations can get weird.
Because I can't help but compare this to that case.
I know, I'm in that same boat of...
Because that's...
Yamaguchi laying down in a pool of blood overnight, fucking 10 hours before anything happened, really is a little funky to me.
Just knocked out.
Let's talk to everyone. Back here again. Just smelling this place makes me want to puke now.
Damn. I was out of my mind after Ayame-chan was executed, so I never got to properly talk to the two who died. That's true.
Yeah.
She lost time with them.
Yeah, she did.
I'm sorry, Kanata-chan. I'm sorry, Yamaguchi-kun. Oh, poor baby.
Damn it. To kill two people, how is that possible? This is just cheating.
Cheating?
It's not fair.
Yeah, she's
Don't know what I
She hasn't
expected.
been doing all right. Like,
No, she was freaking out when the bodies were discovered.
uh-huh.
And I don't know, like I said, I don't know what is crumbs for the future of the overarching story of the game or what is
Yeah.
relevant to the case. That's a tough one to figure
Yeah.
out.
Hey, excuse me. Seems like we're a bit short on people. Huh? No, this is all that's left of us? When did so many disappear?
Did you just fucking depersonalize over here? Goddamn. I investigated as much as I could. The only thing left to do is to deduce the truth based on everyone else's findings.
What's depersonalize?
She just fucking...
You mean dissociate?
Yeah, that's more what I was looking for.
Depersonalize?
That's the thing, but I can't remember what it is. But this case feels particularly clamorous. It seems like it'll be even more dangerous. It'll be even more dangerous than previous. Maybe I'll be more dangerous. Be careful.
What are you waiting for? Head down already.
Oh, Miss Know-It-All.
Did you have to Kinjo?
Yeah, he talked about
Oh.
investigating as best as he could. Let's go down. We'll open the door. See, like,
Because I don't see a reason for Kinjo to kill people. Like, that's just, it's against his nature. It's against his whole thing.
the only thing I can think of is somehow getting tricked into killing someone. But then, like, he's not reacting in a way that would tell me he's done anything suspicious like Akane did before. But
Yeah.
as usual, the elevator descended into the underground with a loud noise. The inside, now with only 9 people left, was filled with an almost oppressive silence. It's not just that our numbers have decreased. It's also because our relationships have worsened compared to the first and second class trials. Especially when it comes to Kinjo and Makaru. Some of the others don't even want to make eye contact with them. Will we really be able to survive this time too?
Because I have 3 favorites, and I think you can tell who they are.
I think it's going to be Satsuki, Kinjo, and Akane.
Yep.
Let's go. That's to find out who's dead in chapter 4, 5, and 6. The elevator stopped with a now familiar shake.
What are your top 3?
Honestly,
you
probably the
scared
same.
me. Why are you right in front of me, barefaced? Didn't they teach you in kindergarten to let people off the elevator before getting on?
Has Monokuma always been like this? I'm too tired to react to it anymore.
Ugh.
What the? Why aren't you saying anything? Is he upset?
That's weird. What's up with Monokuma?
Probably just trying out a new act. Hey, how long are you going to stay like that? Does that mean you don't care if we hold a class trial? Sorry, I'm talking to my pet real quick. I'll be right back. BRB. Something seems a bit different than usual. Kurokawa, there's no point in touching that thing.
Huh? What's wrong, Mikako-chan?
Kurokawa suddenly seemed startled. Monokuma certainly was abnormal. First I thought it was just one of his pranks, but the atmosphere is distinctly different from usual. And then... Hi-ya!
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm alive! I live! I really thought I was gonna die.
The fuck?
Monokuma, which Kurokawa had been fiddling with, suddenly let out a loud noise and started moving. What the hell are you doing? Is this some kind of joke? Don't be so harsh. I just lagged there for a second, that's all. I was surprised too.
Lagged.
Nothing to worry about. Seems like everyone made it down. Well done. So proud of you. Then, shall we get started right away? Kind of sounds like you're trying to cover something up in a hurry.
Yeah. But more importantly, wasn't Kurokawa's scream just now totally cute? Let's just get moving.
Oh, man.
God, look at all these dead people.
All right, time for what everyone's been waiting for. The class trials return. Well, obviously it was going to happen.
Nobody's been waiting for this.
Tisk, tisk. Even if you guys weren't, there are still others who are. Anyway, this will be the 3rd class trial. As someone who's been keeping a close eye on you guys, it seems like your relationships are on the verge of breaking up. Just shut up. We're already stressed as it is. Stop with the nonsense and just start. Jeez, how grumpy. I was about to start anyway. Then without further ado, let's begin the extreme trial between life and death. The class trial.
God.
3rd. The moment Monokuma said that, I started to feel dizzy. Even assuming 2 losses per incident, a victim and a culprit, that already makes 5.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, there were 2 victims, so 6 of our friends have already left us. And a 7th's on their way out.
Yeah. God, that's so
One
bad.
of this case's victims, Inori, ever since the infirmary opened up, she spent almost all of her time there, worrying about our health. She really was like an angel. And yet that same Inori was tied up, completely restrained and killed. Her entire body burnt to charcoal. Someone capable of committing such a horrendous act is among us. The culprit also ruthlessly murdered Yamaguchi. Although he was timid and acted in a way that didn't match his looks, he stepped up and mediated like a lawyer when it mattered, and would also laugh along with us. But now Yamaguchi, whose neck was so brutally cut and whose body lays cold, is dead. The culprit who did that is also one of us. The trial to uncover the culprit begins now. The deadly risk, the deadly lies, the deadly betrayal,
God.
the deadly explanations, the deadly excuses, the deadly trust, the deadly class trial.
Man.
Damn.
So many.
We'll go ahead and save real quick. And okay, we just have the abilities like on. We've got our truth bullets. I don't really think much of it is going to be of use until we get into it. So let's try and figure this out.
Well, normally we like look at them quick as a little, review. Why are we not doing that this time?
We honestly haven't really done that very often in any of these games
Really?
at all, but yeah.
Well, we should.
Let's begin with the basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone will graduate.
God, that voice triggers a gag reflex in me.
Oh, man.
Just, So we're supposed to find the culprit who killed Kanata-chan and Yamaguchi-kun?
That's right. Now then, please start your discussion. Hey, this might be a bit out of the blue, but can Kinjo take the lead again?
Yeah.
I can give some sort of direction for the deduction, but unfortunately won't be of much help this time. I investigated as much as I could, but I don't know the details of this case. And there are some places I didn't get to see.
Because you were knocked out cold by the culprit, right?
So we have no choice but to do our best on our own? Expecting my car to help would be just wishful thinking.
Yeah. It'll be fine. I'm sure we'll figure something out as we keep talking, right? And maybe Kinjo-kun will realize something too.
I can only hope so. Then, let's just do what we can. This case was a little different from the previous ones. Unlike Maki or Tamori, I doubt that anyone watching, this time the murder happened right before our eyes.
Kind of.
Yeah, and what's more, they were killed on different floors, so we had to split into groups. People on different floors will probably have different info. And Kinjo was completely unconscious during all that.
Then I think it'd be the best to hear as much as possible from everyone. Sounds like it's time to summarize the case. Satsuki will help too.
The people who investigated the second floor and the third floor heard and saw different things. We need to gather that information together. Like Obishikawa said, Kinjo doesn't know anything, so we'll explain to him whilst reviewing the order of events. First of all, after the morning announcement today, me, Maeda, Taira, Iranami, and Atori were waiting in the dining hall for everyone to gather.
Mikako-chan finally arrived after about an hour, but the rest of us were still missing. We felt that something was off, so we went to look for Kanata-chan and Yamaguchi-kun.
Then we found Uehara passed out on the second floor. Fortunately, he woke up, but right after that, we heard some strange banging sound from the third floor. So, we split up into 2 groups. Me, Kurokawa, and Uehara went to the third floor. Taira, Kobushikawa, Otori, and Iranami took the second floor. I see, so that's when the timeline splits? Yeah, I heard a general outline from the group that searched the second floor, but I think that a lot of people still don't know what happened yet. Should we start with what me, Maeda, and Kurokawa found on the third floor? After we went up there, we split up again. Maeda went to the art room from where the weird noise was coming from. I went to the science lab and Kurokawa checked the rest.
The empty classrooms and the casino. There was nothing strange in either.
Like Uehara said, I went to the art room, and there, I found what was making the strange noise. The sound was coming from inside the locker. What I found inside was... tied up Inori. Tied up Makaru.
Tied up Makaru.
Inside the art room's locker was Makaru. She was trapped, tied up, and gagged, as well as covered in blood. She was kicking the locker's door, trying to get out. That was the source of the loud noise. Makaru was trapped?
And covered in blood?
Huh. So you're in no position to talk down to others.
You incompetent bastard. I won't let you get away with this.
Why me? I was just trying to sort out the case. Maeda left the art room alongside Makaru. I wondered how he found her. I never imagined she was locked up there. Well, the situation was rather hectic at the time, so I didn't have the chance to explain things properly.
Yeah.
But why is Makaru in that state anyway?
In the state. Why do you think? I let my guard down and the culprit got me. So you let your guard down sometimes. Don't worry, unlike the cop over there, I wasn't so easily taken advantage of. Ooh, what does that mean? Mind your own business and keep discussing. I'll let you know after I watch you all flail around a bit.
Jesus Christ. You really don't even know what cooperation means. Ignore Makaru and keep going. Even if you guys don't need it, I'm relying on you to say what you say to make any deductions. Right.
Yeah.
Now I'll continue. After Makaru got out, we stepped into the hallway. Uehara and Kuwakara called us over and said the science lab wouldn't open. As I said earlier, I went to investigate the science lab, but the door was shut tight and wouldn't open. At first I tried to force it open myself, but something felt off, so I regrouped with Kurokawa, who had just finished their search elsewhere. Yes, and then we heard a scream from the science lab. 4 of us focused on getting the door open. Finally, we succeeded, but inside was...
Kanata-chan, who was already dead. Right after that, the body discovery announcement played.
You all saw Hinori's corpse too, so you know just how horrifying it was. It was such a terrible sight that none of us could move. But that wasn't the end of it. Yeah, it happened again. Another body discovery announcement. That must have been for Yamaguchi, who we found in the library. We headed down to the second floor to confirm what was going on and joined the rest of you. That's when we saw Yamaguchi's body too. That wraps up the report from the third floor investigation team.
It wasn't much different for us on the second floor. We each split up to check the classrooms. I was the one who went to the library and found Yamaguchi-kun and Kinjo-kun inside. After that, the others came in one by one and found the body. And then the body discovery announcement played.
So that's roughly how this case unfolded. Yeah, on the surface it looks like the typical murder case, where 2 people were killed over the course of one night and discovered one after another, but the biggest issue is that the culprit committed the murders whilst moving through the school at the same time as us on the morning.
Yeah. You're talking about the estimated times of deaths listed on the Monokuma files?
Indeed, according to them, both Yamaguchi and Inori died as we were investigating the second and third floors. But since we were moving together, we can provide each other's alibis. That's not the only thing weird, right? When the science lab door was closed, we heard Inori scream clearly behind it. But we opened the door. There was no one inside.
Wait a second, the same goes for us. We found Uehara-kun near the second floor stairs. But if the culprit had left the library after killing Yamaguchi-kun, they had to pass through there. We wouldn't have missed them.
When you went to investigate the library, did you go straight there after splitting up in 2 groups?
Yes, by the time I got there, Yamaguchi-kun was already dead. So if the culprit had killed him and left the library, there's no way we wouldn't have seen them. And even if they did somehow slip past us, they'd have to go up to the 3rd floor to kill Kanata-chan, which means they'd have to get past Maeda's group, right? None of this makes sense.
Well, I didn't ask that far. Don't get ahead of yourself.
My god. Huh? Right. Sorry.
Sorry? What are you sorry for? You don't owe this guy anything. Hey, Kinjo, you clearly have it out for Tyra, but don't you realize everyone else feels the same about you?
No, it's alright, Kobashi Kamakun. No matter what anyone says, I did stab Kizuna-chan. And Ayame-chan died because of me as well. I don't have any rights to talk.
If you get that much, let's continue. I don't want to waste time bickering during the class trial either. The biggest mystery right now is how the culprit managed to move around without anyone noticing in such a short window of time. Yeah, the time between Inori and Yamaguchi's deaths is only 5 minutes apart. Realistically, it should be impossible to travel between the floors and commit both murders. Or at least that's how it seems. But is it really impossible? Let's think about what we've investigated. Maybe the key to solving this puzzle is hidden in there.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Make your argument.
Because the biggest thing that no one seems to understand is the electricity issue.
Yeah.
That the death was obviously premeditated for Inori way in
Oh
advance.
yeah, big time. It's impossible for someone to kill 2 people in such a short amount of time without any of us noticing.
Not necessarily. Putting Yamaguchi aside for now, do you know what caused Inori's death? Electricity by her stun gun, right? Well, it's gotta be the stun gun, no? It shocks you when you press to your body. It shocks you when pressed to your body. But doesn't that only work with direct contact to the body? It's gonna be the Science Lab floor on that one, I feel.
Yeah.
Does it though? If you think carefully about the crime scene, does another possibility come to mind?
Yep.
The weapon that killed Inori was a stun gun. It's definitely a close-range weapon, but in the first place, a stun gun is a weapon for incapacitation, not killing. If that's the case. Couldn't it be that the culprit didn't directly apply the stun gun, but rather took advantage of some special circumstance?
Yep, the flooding.
Special circumstance crime scene. I don't need to review them. I got this.
Yeah. The flooding.
The flooding. The science lab's flooded floor.
Get in the water.
All right. Boom. Oh, I got a monocoin for that?
What?
Okay.
Was that a glitch?
I wonder if that's the ability we got off of Zatsuki. Because we got her ability after finishing out her things. She would love money.
Yeah, she would.
All right. Save.
For poker.
No, the weapon that killed Inori was definitely a stun gun, but what if she wasn't directly hit with it? Oh, wait, the weapon was a stun gun, but she wasn't directly hit? What sort of supernatural nonsense is this?
Bruh.
You fucking idiot. You remember, you've all been to the science lab, right? Remember how it was flooded to the point the water spilled to the hallway? At first I was wondering why they'd go that far. But what if the very act of flooding at that point, the point, in order to electrocute Inori?
Oh no, I guess it was the point. The act of flooding was the point. Ah, if they submerged Kanata-chan in water, then dropped the stun gun, they wouldn't need to touch her directly for her to get shocked.
But you know, a stun gun is just a tool for subduing. It doesn't carry enough voltage to kill someone instantly. Of course, that depends on the device.
That's why they needed the phone.
But still, if you use that way of putting electricity through the water, well, it'll be way more than enough to take a person out. Right, with that method, the culprit wouldn't have to physically shock her with the stun gun. They use the water to electrocute her directly. Yeah, the phone's not needed in that terms. Just doing it over a matter of minutes through water is like fucking boiling a lobster.
Yeah.
Oh, you're quickly trying to fight against me. Okay. You're just dumb. Okay. No way, Maeda. There's a hole in your reasoning.
Is there?
Kobishigo, what's wrong all of a sudden? Hey, I actually used my brain for once and tried to figure something out. You're just gonna dump cold water on it like that? I've always lost to you, but I'm not going to lose this one.
Bro.
You're arguing for such a useless reason? Useless? You're calling it useless? All right then, Maeda. Sorry to say, but I've spotted a flaw in your reasoning. That I will point out.
Bro, what the fuck?
Oh, man. I want to be useful, too.
My god.
Broken cell phone in Nori's body. Let's say the stun gun was dropped in water. Sure, you can electrocute somebody without touching them directly. But to drop it into water, someone would need to be in the science lab. That's not true at all. In the end, you still have to go back and forth between the floors. How'd I miss that?
Oh.
But it's still in advance, so I don't mind. No, not necessarily. If it's just about dropping the stun gun in water, It can be done remotely with the alarm.
Yep.
Make the phone vibrate and fall into the water.
Yeah.
Plus, what kind of superpower is that?
Bro.
Oh shit! It's a stun gun that does something. I
Stun
stressed
gun
out.
moves on its own. Yeah.
I'm just gonna swipe that. Fuck you. Break. We're gonna break his heart.
Big, oh.
Kobushikawa, maybe there really was something. A device that can move on its own. What? In fact, the stun gun wasn't just lying around. It was connected by a strap to a cell phone.
Yeah, it would have pulled it in.
Yeah. A cell phone? You talking about the one who I found? Yeah, that's the one. Maki's phone. I wondered where it disappeared to, and it was there?
But, like, you said something about it moving on its own, right? What's a cell phone got to do with that?
That's it. They used the vibration function.
Yep.
Kinjo's right. That phone had an alarm set. And what time was it set for? Right before we heard Inori's scream, around 8:30. Oh, I get it. Even I can understand it now.
So that's why the stun gun was connected to the phone by a strap.
Huh? What does an alarm have to do with movement? He doesn't know how phones work.
No.
You know what? Cleared. Unless
Unless it's
it was all planned from the beginning.
And he just, like, pretended to be knocked out. Because, like, the blood that he had on him, he was totally fine afterwards. It could have just been more of the blood pack of blood.
Yeah.
And he could have just been like, oh man, where's the phone? They took it from me. Oh no.
Yeah. I guess I can't say no to that, but what does an alarm have to do with movement? Am I the only one who doesn't understand?
I just don't know why he would, because right, the videos.
Yeah.
Huh? Uehara-kun, don't you know what a vibration alarm is?
Oh, what now? Huh?
Oh yeah, Uehara grew up in the mountains, so he's clueless about modern tech. It's up to us civilized folks to educate him.
As I said, I did not live in the mountains. Uehara, what I'm trying to say is that they used the phone's alarm to drop the stun gun into the water. The stun gun and the phone were connected by a strap, right? The culprit probably set an alarm to go off around the time of the murder and then placed the cell phone on the very edge of the desk, just about to fall. Then, when the alarm went off, the vibration would occur. The phone would shake a little and eventually fall from the desk. I see, I understand now. So the stun gun attached to it would have fallen too. Well, Kobushikawa, wouldn't this allow the culprit to electrocute Inori remotely without anyone in the science lab? Yeah, I give up. I lost. I really don't want to lose again this time. I mean, I get losing to Kinjo, but I thought I could at least beat you.
Damn.
Is this seriously a competition to you? Try taking this seriously. It's a class trial.
Thank you.
Hey, no need to be so grumpy. You think I don't know that? Just wanted to argue because I truly believe my reasoning made more sense.
Well, it didn't.
All right, let's not fight. What matters now is uncovering the culprit's crime. Wait, why am I the one mediating?
So, Kanata-chan was electrocuted remotely using the cell phone in the flood, right?
Still amazing I even figured out the phone had an alarm function. Modern phone, sure, but that one of mine is like an old 2G model. Wasn't even waterproof?
Waterproof?
Stun gun fell into the water, the phone attached to it would have gone in too, right? One dip in the water for old phones, and they're toasted, you know? Well, the cell phone we found floating in the water was broken. The time display was all messed up and the screen colors were distorted. Out of all the functions, only the alarm was still working. How convenient.
Yeah, which means we can't use the phone for anything else? That's too bad. Even if it's out of service range, it still could have been a clue.
Hey, you guys are getting sidetracked again. If we're done with Inori's case, let's move on. There's still a lot I need to hear about this case.
He's like, give me the info.
So since the culprit could commit murder remotely, they had no reason to run up and down between the floors. That makes sense. As long as they had everything set up beforehand, all they had to do was keep Inori restrained so that she wouldn't move. That might be why they wrapped her up with so much tape. Most likely. But that aside, what happened to Yamaguchi? Huh? What about him? The culprit just killed him directly, no?
Well, wait, even if that explains Kanata-chan, the same doesn't apply to Yamaguchi-kun. When I found him in the library, no one was there besides Kinjo-kun, who was lying unconscious.
If what Tyra says is true, it would certainly be impossible to leave the library unnoticed. Not to mention, the time of death was 8:40. At that time, none of us could have pulled off the murder. Wait, what? What did you say?
Maeda-kun, Uehara-kun, and Mikako-chan went to the 3rd floor, so they're out. And me, Satsuki-chan, and Kobashikawa-kun, and Notori-kun all saw each other on the 2nd floor, so it can't be us either.
And Kinjo and Mikaro were both taken out by the culprit, weren't they? Then who the hell's the culprit? A ghost?
Oh my god.
No, wait. There's one person who could have done it. You, Kinjo. I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there, so...
He's just like, of course.
He's like, I should have seen this coming.
Yeah, because he hates him
Yeah.
so much. Kinjo-kun, but he was hit on the head by the culprit.
Yeah, and Ayame was sliced in the back of the leg by the culprit.
Yeah.
Look, I don't mean this in a malicious way or anything.
Yeah,
but
you do.
use the method of elimination. The only ones without alibis at the time of the crime are him and Mikaru.
So Mikaru's a suspect too?
Technically, yes, but Maeda said she was in the art room. That's too far. Meanwhile, Kinjo was right there in the library where Yamaguchi was killed. So, are you suggesting he faked being knocked out? But I treated him myself, and that wound was pretty bad. It didn't look fake to me. Maybe he planned to get hurt. I mean, if the culprit gets exposed, they're executed. So if they're serious about escaping, wounding themselves is not out of the question, is it? Is that so? So now all of you think I'm the culprit?
That's...
Do you really think I would commit murder? Saying stuff like that just sounds like making excuses. If you're not the culprit, why don't you refute it with logic? Something you're just so good at.
Bro.
I'd like to, but unfortunately I really was unconscious during this incident, so I'm lacking in information. I might not be able to refute it in a way you'll find convincing.
What the heck? Is Kinjo actually declaring defeat?
Let me just ask something to confirm. You said Yamaguchi's time of death was 8:40, right?
Yeah, he's like, let's focus on that weird thing.
It was written in the Monokuma file, so it has to be accurate. And right after you all arrived on the 2nd floor and split up to investigate, Yamaguchi was already dead in the library.
Yes, I can guarantee it.
You do realize that if you can't refute us, you're basically confessing to being the culprit, right?
That's not how that works.
I'm thinking. Shut up. Could Kinjo really be the culprit?
I don't believe it.
I need to put aside his righteous image and unforgiving nature toward criminals and look at the situation objectively.
Nope.
It is true only Kinjo Mikaru could have committed the crime. But I need to think about this more. It might be too early to jump to conclusions. Because there is still the issue of the sharp statue in the art room and Inori's lab coat, the plaster spear. Because the plaster spear could have been used to, I guess, open up a bunch of blood bags. I don't know. But
yeah.
Kinjo is the only one who could have done it. You're free to believe me or not, but I was knocked out by the culprit. I believe that.
Yeah.
Tyler's testimony. Maybe you staged that.
Bruh.
You killed Yamaguchi on the spot in the library. And then you hit your own head and pretended to faint.
No, because the spear would not have been put back in the room.
But they don't know about the spear stuff yet, where maybe that's true, but at the time they were in the library, Kinjo's the only one. But the injury was real. That problem's easily solved. He just did it himself.
Kinjo-kun really is the culprit?
Dots.
He's just like, I'm fucking backed into a corner here. He's also thinking, he's like, who is?
Yamaguchi was found collapsed in the library. It seems like the only person who could have killed him there, since he was also, it seems like he's the only
Whoa,
person.
you good?
I was trying to go through the thing there, but since he was also in the library. But just because Yamaguchi was found in the library, does that really mean he died there? Let's think back on the investigation. The mystery might be solved. Okay.
Yeah.
Now then, so we know...
It was a sea of blood was one of them.
No blood was spilled in Yamaguchi's body from the way... all the way to the hallway. Appears to be Yamaguchi, but how could they have lost so much blood? There's a pool of blood underneath him. Suggests it was
there before he collapsed. What happened?
Okay. So, there's that, and then Tyra's testimony.
She went to Science Lodge before nighttime, the door wouldn't open. The door
So
also wouldn't open. We discovered the body this morning. Yeah.
So that's not relevant right now.
And then the plaster spear. Decorative plaster spear found in the art room. Despite how it looks, it's quite sharp. Okay, it could cut you if you're not careful. However, since its position seems somewhat strange, I took closer look and found a round splatter of blood on the blade. I don't know why it's splattered like that, but the fact that there's blood on it could have been used as a weapon.
Okay, so the plaster spear
Cause like
or the sea of blood can potentially be used. If I read these words more, we'll see what's going on here.
All right.
All right, so there's anyone who could have done it. I was knocked out by the culprit. No doubt about that. Maybe you staged that. Yamaguchi
on the spot in the library.
Let me throw this out there because it throws some. That doesn't seem to be right though. So
we got a model coin from it.
Apparently, something doesn't seem right. I have a feeling my idea is wrong. Just found collapsed in the library. It seems like the only person who could have killed him there. So okay, so let's just prove it with that. Ouch.
Oof.
Okay, so.
Oh no!
Uh-oh. That's a bit of a. Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
But I was knocked out by the culprit.
Yeah, that's fine. Oops.
Okay.
I remember that was
Jesus.
there, but. All right, do you want to disappear, buddy? Uh-oh.
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 Hold on.
I think we, okay.
Oh, okay. It's gone now.
Oh.
We'll save, yes.
I was like, no,
oh, God.
no. Well, I think we found a little glitch.
We did there for a second. Kobushikawa, wait a minute. Are you sure that's right? What's right? Which part?
Whoa, wrong voice.
Damn it. You just said that Yamaguchi was killed in the spot in the library. But what if that whole assumption is wrong? What are you talking about? It's the same logic as is in Maki's case. We can't automatically assume that the murder happened where the body was found.
Oh, I was jotting one. Huh? Then are you saying Yamaguchi didn't die in the library?
There's a strong chance he didn't. For one, there were bloodstains trailing from outside. And if he really had died in the library, it wouldn't have been an impossible crime. Then where was it? Where did Yamaguchi die? I can't say for certain, but
yeah,
it might have been in the art room.
The art room? That far away?
The main locations of this case seem to be the science lab and library, but frankly, the art room might have been even more important than either of them. The reason as to why it's so important, and why Yamaguchi might have died in there, not in the library, I saw that tool. It had a little blood on it, although just faintly. And now we've got it. A little too fast.
There it is, yep.
There were several spears made out of plaster in the art room. Despite that, they were still sharp. If you swung one as a weapon, could easily slice through human flesh.
That's really dangerous. No way. One of those spears was the murder weapon?
I think so. One of them had faint traces of blood on it. But, hold on, just because the weapon was from the art room doesn't prove the murder happened there. Couldn't the killer have murdered him in the library and later returned the weapon? That seems unlikely. There was a blood-stained plastic wrap in the art room's trash can. A plastic wrap? So you found that too, Kinjo. Even though you had so little time to investigate.
He was speedrunning.
Yeah, limited time is why I didn't realize the plaster spear had blood on it until you mentioned it just now. So what are you getting at? What was the plastic wrap used for? If what Maeda said is true and there was blood on it, on the plaster spear, then there's a high chance it was the murder weapon. The Monokuma file even said he died by something sharp. So then most likely the culprit wrapped the blade in the spear and the plastic wrap and then used it to kill Yamaguchi.
Right, you said earlier the wrap was covered in blood. So it was to prevent blood from getting on the weapon?
I understand that, but doesn't something seem strange? They used the wrap to avoid bloodstains, but Maeda said the plastic spear had blood on it. Isn't that a contradiction?
There was a little hole in it.
Didn't I tell you? There was indeed blood, but only faintly. There wasn't a normal blood splatter. It was an oval-shaped mark, about the size of a fingernail.
No, it was a circle. Ooh, how could blood splatter be in that shape?
I see. Now that I've heard Maeda's explanation, it all makes sense. Excuse me. The blood in the spear was just an accident.
An accident?
I don't know how many people dug through the art room's trash, but if you saw the wrap, you'd know. It was soaked in blood in one spot. There was a circular hole in it.
Yep.
I see now.
A little
The killer
pinprick.
meant to keep the weapon clean, but somehow a part of the wrap must have gotten torn. That's how the round blood stain ended up on the spear.
Aha! Then just like you two said, the culprit used a plaster spear to kill Yamaguchi in the art room. And then they disposed the evidence right there. Incredible! Those two were excellent detectives!
Hold on, wait. Okay, maybe the wrap was used to prevent blood splatter, but what if they wrapped the weapon, took it to the library, killed Yamaguchi there, but disposed of the stuff in the art room?
Bro.
Of course, that's not impossible. But it wasn't just wrap that was in the art room's trash can. Maeda, if you found that wrap, you must have seen that item too.
The lab coat.
How about you tell the others what it was? That item, the one that was tossed into the trash can with the plastic wrap. It was definitely...
Yep.
What about... Kinjo, you're talking about Inori's lab coat, right? Indeed. Inori's white coat, which was covered in blood. Come to think of it, Inori's body wasn't wearing the lab coat. So is that where it ended up?
Wait a minute. Kanata-chan, she definitely died in a horrible way, but she didn't bleed at all, did she? But there was blood on it?
I don't know why her coat was in the art room, but one thing's for sure. The killer used it to wipe off blood. Wipe off blood? So it didn't splatter? You can tell from the blood-stained shape. It weren't splashes, instead it was as if blood was rubbed on it. Certainly used to destroy evidence. But the ones who bled was Yamaguchi, right? So where did they wipe off the blood from?
The art room. There were faint traces of blood left on the floor.
As Kurokawa said, there are faint smears of blood on the art room's floor. They confirmed it by smell. I see. I couldn't tell just by looking, but there were blood traces on the floor. That proves the coat was used to clean them up. Wait, so blood splattered in the art room? Like someone said earlier, the only person who bled was Yamaguchi. So if there was blood in the art room...
It means Yamaguchi couldn't died in the art room.
That's it. That would explain why we couldn't find it on the second floor. Just as expected from Kinjo. He just pokes around for a second and boom, the case is solved. We can deduce this much, sure.
He's like, don't compliment me.
But even if Yamaguchi was killed in the art room, that still doesn't solve the mystery. Huh? What mystery?
No matter where the body died, you saw his body in the library. The body didn't move on its own, meaning someone had to have carried it to the library. Whoa, Mikaru's helping us out for once. You can't imagine how frustrated I am to act like this. Anyway, think carefully about Kakeru Yamaguchi's time of death and the time until you discovered his body. Bullet scanning?
What the fuck? Yeah, tell me more.
In a standard non-stop debate, you're given multiple truth bullets and you're to fire one of them at a contradiction and to refute it. But sometimes none of the bullets are correct. In that case, you need to scan a yellow statement made by one of your friends and convert it into a truth bullet. To scan, press B whilst aiming at the yellow text. However, unless you have a specific skill, scanning will come with a delay. If your friend finishes speaking as you're scanning, the scan will fail. Just scanning it is not enough. You still need to shoot the contradiction as usual. You can only scan one specific yellow statement that contains the correct bullet. Don't hesitate. If something sounds important, try scanning it.
Okay.
Also, a scanned bullet won't disappear until you shoot it. If you fire at the wrong spot, it will vanish and you will need to start over. Once you scan, all the other bullets will disappear, so if you're unsure, you might have to loop through the debate again. But don't worry, while scanning, as long as you don't shoot the wrong spot, your HP won't drop. Good luck! Oh, and also, you're only able to absorb the correct statement.
Oh, fancy. Okay, that'll help me a little bit.
Instead of the incorrect one.
Well, that means I'm going to try to suck up every fucking statement that's there in front of me.
Yeah.
That'll help when I get inevitably lost in future trials.
So you have to pick the one that is correct.
Yeah, but it'll only let me pick the one that's correct. The other ones won't get absorbed.
Yeah.
So what's even this mystery? Yamaguchi died in the art room and That's not working, so. He was there at around 8:40, his time of death. But at that time, weren't we already investigating the second floor?
I was in the hallway the whole time, but there was no sign of anyone coming down from the 3rd floor. Then how did Yamaguchi teleport to the library?
That's the mystery. If we try to reason it out, contradictions will keep appearing.
Is the time of death wrong?
That's because it's impossible. Because if all written in the Monokuma file is true, that's not being absorbed. So okay.
Kinjo doesn't know. We're totally screwed.
God damn it! Why do murders keep on happening?
Because people want to get out.
Day or night, people are dying nonstop. I'm so sick of all these class trials. I'm absorbing it. Kiss day or night, Scarpin. That was crazy. Let's think it through. I'm sure a new path will open. Okay, so we got the day or night part. I think I missed something important in this discussion. Yamaguchi was definitely killed in the art room, but if he died there around 8:40, nothing adds up.
The Monokuma file doesn't say AM or PM.
I was just thinking the same thing.
And that we have to say what we have to put that on Kinjo's.
Yeah, he didn't. He did die in the art room and left bloodstains there. Get some of his body up in the library without a trace. It's as if everything had been prepared in advance. The only thing that can help prove that is the Monokuma file, which always tells the truth. It's never been wrong, so this time is no exception. And according to it, it couldn't have all been prepared. Which means it wasn't the Monokuma file that got something wrong. It's us. We missed something.
They assumed it was AM. Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to everything missed, compared to every other missed file until now, what information was missing from this one? If I think about it, maybe I'll find the answer. I don't need to read the truth bullets.
No. Okay. It'll have to be at Kinjo's.
Yeah, maybe she's died in the art room, because that's no doubt on that.
Because he mentions the thing.
I'm not gonna want to make sure I don't miss this, so I'm just gonna let it play out.
Right there.
There we go.
Yep. Nice.
Let's fucking go. Break. We did it. Perfect thinking. We're so good.
Nice.
And we're gonna save. Day and night. Day. Night. AM. PM. I'm gonna break your fucking mind, sir. And we're gonna break your mind. Next time.
Because at least we know that Inori's was obviously AM.
Yes.
Which means Yamaguchi's was PM.
Yeah, that helps solve a little bit of the confusion of what the hell is going on so far.
It does.
A little bit.
A tad.
A tad.
But that
It also opens up that everyone is back on the suspect list right now.
I still don't think it's Kinjo. I refuse.